Hi everybody, welcome back. Now today I'm going to be sharing a bit of a different sewing tip with you. We're going to do a little bit of a pattern change. Now how many of you, when you wear a t-shirt or a fitted stretch top, have that little bit of a lump or a roll happening at this underarm point? That is where the bra is pushing into our body and causing that little bit of a bump that we usually see with our fitted or with our fitted tops. Now I'm going to show you a little bit of a change that I do to my patterns so that when I am sewing it, I've got a really smooth back. So this top that I'm specifically doing, I'm actually working with a quick sew polo neck little top. I love this top for going into winter time. I just love that neckline. It is not too high. It just gives me a little bit of coverage there. So that is my pattern that I'm just demonstrating it on for you today. Now one thing that I do want to mention, that this is not for your woven fabrics. This is really for our very super stretchy fabrics where we're going to be working with minimum ease across that bust area, or we've even got maybe negative ease. And that is usually that you'll see those patterns usually ask for a 50 or a 75% stretch to your fabric. Now first off, looking at the pattern that I am working with, I'm just going to show you here on the back. You will see that you have this little stretch ratio that you can go and measure your fabric with. Now I've just taken another piece of my fabric just to show you how to do it, and this is really for our new dressmakers that's joining us. It is lovely to see how many of you are out there starting on this journey now, sewing your own clothes. Now first off, if I am going to test my fabric, I'm going to not take the edge of the fabric. I always fold it in a little bit. And I'm going to pick it up, and you can see it says 4 inches or 10 centimeters of my knit fabric should stretch to there. So I'm just going to pick it up there, and let me just fold this properly so I've got it on the maximum stretch, and I'm going to pick it up, and from there to there I'm making sure that I can stretch it to there. So this already, with that 75% that they do want for this pattern, is already telling me this is going to hug my body. There's no wearing ease in this pattern for our stretch fabric. And this is now where the tip that I'm going to share with you is coming in, where I'm going to be preventing this hugging my body so tight that I don't have that little bit of a roll showing there. Now before you can do the change to your pattern, you are going to establish where the bra is sitting on your back, and you're just going to do a measurement for me. Here you can really go and measure from midway of your shoulder and just go down. You'll be able to feel it, and you want to get that measurement. You can even, if you want, to pick it up from underarm and feel where it's sitting. And you do want to go below that bra line. Don't stop at that bra line. And measuring yourself is really going to be easy, because I'm just going to put it here in the middle of my shoulder, and I'm going to turn, and I'm going to come down my back, and I'm going to feel up to where I want it to be. And I'm going to take that measurement, and I'm going to apply it then to my pattern. Now we are going to be working with our back pattern. We are not doing any changes to our front pattern. It's only on the back pattern. Now I'm working with a template here. It's easier to just show you the process, and then you can go and apply it to your full size pattern. So on your full size pattern, you can then go from that mid shoulder, and you can go measure down where that level is going to be. You are going to go and draw a line for yourself, and we want to make sure that we are drawing a line that's going 90 degrees out of that center back line that I have. I'm just going to go and I'm drawing that line. Another thing that I am going to do for myself, I just want to make sure that at that underarm point, when I am going to make the change, that my patterns are going to be balanced. So I'm just doing a little bit of a horizontal balance line for myself, just so that I know when I'm doing the pattern work that my pattern is going to be balanced. Now this is going to become a separate pattern piece, and I've already gone and I've done it in another color, and you can see that is going to be almost like a false back that we're going to do. We don't want to size down or size up on this. This is going to be the measurement of your pattern. So this is your actual pattern piece that you are going to do, and then you are going to cut it out and keep it as a separate pattern. Then on your full back bodice, we are going to add on a little bit onto that side seam and that arm seam, so that we've got a slightly bigger pattern. Now this part of the pattern, when I'm sewing it, is going to pull tight against my body, it's going to hug my body, and then the outer part of my pattern is really going to be slightly looser because we're going to make it now slightly bigger than what I have of this false back that we're going to do. Now if you go and you just add onto your back pattern piece about 1 centimeter, that is 3/8 of an inch, that is more than enough. We just need it to be slightly bigger than what my original back pattern is going to be. Now I'm working on a small template, so I'm just going to add on 6 millimeter for myself, and we are really just going to be adding it onto our side seam, and I'm just going to be drawing my side seam there. And from this point out, I'm also going to do on my full-size pattern 1 centimeter on that arm. We are not wanting any additional measurement added onto the shoulder or to the neckline. Now I have already gone and made myself a little bit of a stipple line, so that, or a dotted line, so that I can see where it's going to run. And I'm just going to pick it up with my designer's companion that I have, that I design with. I'm just going to pick up that curve for my template now, and I'm just going to redraw a new line, making sure that I'm taking it to this balance line that I have. So I'm just going to put it down there, and I'm just going to go and draw my line. Oops, we've just moved over there. So I'm just going to go and draw that line, and I'm going to take it back into my original shoulder line over there. So I've just gone and sized up my pattern that's going to be the outer piece. Now if you look at this, and I'm going to take it off just now, I do have the false piece there which is pulling snugly against the body, and you can see this is just beautifully hanging over the back. It's not pulling tight, so there's no way that we can see that lump or that roll that's happening in this area. Now remember, we're working with different bodies, we've all got a different shape, some of us have more of a show there, so this way you are minimizing it. So I don't want to say yes, you're going to get rid of it totally, but the whole thing is to go and minimize it, and hopefully with the fabric that you're working, you won't be seeing that little lump or that roll happening where the bra area is. Now let's go back to our pattern work, and I've got some samples here just to show you. So I've now gone and I've cut out this as my pattern. So here you can see my back pattern. You can see that I have added that additional width to it. Remember, on your full size pattern, about 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch. The first step was to go and copy the false back, which I've done. And now if I put it on this pattern piece, you can see that my pattern is slightly bigger, and this is now really going to be that outer section which is going to just hang slightly away from my body, so that it's not showing any of those lumps or those rolls that the bra is creating on my back. Now I have also cut out my template so that I can just show you visually what it's going to look like once you've cut it out of your fabric. So the black is now my t-shirt, and this is going to be my false back. So you can see the size difference that we do have. Now I'm going to be treating this as one pattern piece, so I do want you now at this stage to go and pin this false back onto your back t-shirt, and you are going to stretch this one that is slightly smaller. So all I'm going to do, and I'm just going to just pin it there, and I want to make sure that I'm pinning all the way around the armhole, and then from there, and I'm just going to do, just doing a couple of pins to show you. We are working with a knit fabric, so I am going to, on this section, I'll just stretch that shoulder slightly. It is just a small stretch that we're going to do there, because I want to make sure that at this point we are going to match up, and we're going to go and also just pin there. I'm going to go back to this side. Just grab our pin there. Now once you've pinned this in place, please go baste it. You can do either machine basting, where you take your straight stitch to your longer stitch length and baste it in place, or you can do hand stitches, whatever you are comfortable with. Can you see with moving my shoulder over to that point, I do have to stretch it a little bit on this section, so I'm just going to stretch it in. Alright, so that is pinned now. So if you do find that it is slightly puckering on this side, that is fine. Just give it a bit of a stretch, and you can just do 1 or 2 of your pins on your knit fabric as well, on that stretch fabric, just to keep it in place, and you are going to sew it for me. Now the whole thing is, when I'm wearing this is going to hug my body. This is just going to be hanging beautifully down my back without showing any of that undersection or that false back that we've done. Now look at my pattern as well, and I've just taken it off so you can see. So here you can see my false back that I've sewn in. Once I've basted, I really go and sew this all as one. I go and join my shoulders, make sure I sew it as one piece. Everything gets sewn as one piece. One thing that I do want to mention here, because of the knit fabric that I am working with, I did want to support it a little bit, because I found when it was pulling on my body, it was slightly curling in. So I didn't want to have a ridge forming across my back. Now I just stabilized a little bit. This fusible interfacing that I have used over here is a stretch interfacing. Please don't do a woven interfacing, that's not going to be moving with the fabric. I use a specific knit fusible interfacing so that I can actually look how it stretches with my fabric. So I just did that there, and I went and I just overlocked it, so I know when I'm wearing this, this edge is not going to be rolling and making a ridge across the back. But that is really now how my pattern looks, and on the body it just sits beautifully. It really minimizes that lump that I usually have on the back of my body. Now this is really a quick fix for those sewing patterns where we've got negative ease or no ease, and we know it's going to be fitted to our body. We know that fabric's going to hug our body, and we are going to be showing a little bit of that bump that we usually get in the bra area. So really a quick, easy fix that you can go and try. So let me know what you think of this tip if you've tried it. I would really like your feedback on that, and then I will be looking at another video soon for you with one of my other sewing tips. So enjoy the rest of your week. Chat soon.